Hey, good afternoon and welcome to AFO Radio. I am Mag and it is Tuesday. That's right. It's been quite a number of months since we brought you a show on Tuesday, but nevertheless, it's a special week because we're doing the Breast Cancer Awareness Special here on AFO Radio, and we've got 3 interviews lined up for this week, and I am super excited with each and every one of them, but mostly for today's one. Okay, don't tell the other 2 guests, okay? But yeah, she is a 2-time breast cancer survivor. I think she just turned 30. So she's very young, she's very positive, and she has one of the most beautiful smiles I've seen ever. Okay, if you actually follow her on social media, you'll see that it's really nice. Okay, it's vibrant, it's positive, and she shares her story with you all on her social media. Okay, so I'm gonna bring on the show this afternoon my guest, Navi Indran Pillai, who is a 2-time breast cancer survivor. So let's have her on the show. Hi,
Hi,
Navi, how are you?
I'm good.
Welcome to the show. I believe
Thank
you
you.
are working with the National Cancer Association as well, isn't it?
Yeah, National Cancer Society of Malaysia.
Society, sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
So, how long have you been with them?
So about a year and a half now. So I
Okay.
joined them last year, April.
Okay. So if you notice the poster, we've put it as breast cancer warrior because I think following you on Instagram, seeing what you've done and helping the National Cancer Society of Malaysia as well, advocate for breast cancer awareness, you're doing a brilliant job. So well done. And thank you so
Thank,
much for agreeing to do this show with me this afternoon.
thank you. Thank you so much for having me on the show.
Okay, so let's start from the very beginning. Back in 2013, you were diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer, which you succeeded to defeat, only to find out in 2018 that, you had it again. It came
Yeah.
back and then it had spread to the liver and bone. So tell us more about your journey. How did you find out that you had breast cancer?
Okay, so the first time that I found out that I had breast cancer was feeling a lump in my left breast, and I think when I felt the lump, I didn't understand, what it was really, but I think my mom had a more worried, feeling and face because I was
Yeah.
only 22. I just graduated from university,
Mm-hmm.
and so at that point in time, we were like going out celebrating and things like that. And then you find this, and then my mom's just like all worried, and she was worried the entire evening. Like we
Yeah.
went for dinner, and that whole evening she was really really worried, and she told me, Navi, can you go get it checked in the GP? And then I was like, yeah,
Mm.
yeah, yeah. I didn't go the next day. I didn't go the following day. And then she said, and on the third day, she was like, yeah, if you don't go to the GP, I'm going to drag you by the hair and take you to the GP. Literally, no words. So I was like, whoa, okay, mom's got serious. I better go. So I actually went to the GP. And then she said, yeah, I feel this little big ball of lump. And she was like, this is roughly about like 6 centimeters in diameter. So it was
Mm-hmm.
quite big. And then she didn't seem worried because a lot of young women have lumps before
Yes,
they are
correct.
their menses and periods and stuff because of like their hormones and things like that. So she
Mm-hmm.
didn't seem so worried, but she was like, I'll just refer you as GPs do. They have like a procedure. So they were like, okay, I'll just refer you to a specialist and then you can go and get it checked. So I went to a specialist, a breast surgeon, and then she was like, nah, this is because my mom was like all worried and she, oh my God, we have to
Mm.
go to a specialist now. And I was like, yeah, but I guess this is procedure, so don't worry about
Yeah.
it. So I was just like chill, but mom was all worried.
I can
So we
imagine
went,
she's a mother after all,
yeah,
right?
yeah. So and then after that, so I went to the specialist and then she was like, oh yeah, this is nothing. Girls at your age always gets this kind of benign tumors. So benign
Okay.
tumors are just normal tumors that often just shrinks by itself. You can remove it or you can just leave it there.
Yeah.
But of course listen to your doctors to what suggestions they have.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like, all right, okay, so let's just do a mammogram and an ultrasound. Now, on the mammogram, it didn't show anything. Now, the reason why it didn't show anything was because of my age and the breast tissue. So it's very new because I was
Okay.
22, right? So that's why young adults or young women, young girls, should not never do
A
mammogram
mammogram.
below the age of 40.
Correct.
So you just do an ultrasound. But the reason why she asked me to do it was because when I did the ultrasound, it didn't look so promising to her. So she was like, something's not right. It
Okay.
doesn't look, uh, something that is nothing. It looked like
Yeah.
something. So she said, okay, let's do a mammogram and let's see if the mammogram comes out and shows us something. But the mammogram was clean, was clear. It didn't show anything. So she was like, okay, because sometimes it happens because, young girls, their breast tissues are very, very, very soft
Yeah.
because it's new. So, of course, she was like, it doesn't look promising. Let's just do an ultrasound and see if this is just a benign, just to be sure.
Yeah.
But she had like a 90%, like, no, it's nothing. So my
Okay.
mom was like, okay, but let's just do this biopsy. So she scheduled me to do a biopsy like the next day or the following day. My mom's like, nope. It was like evening around like 5-ish or 6. So
Uh-huh.
the a biopsy place was like normally closed. They were
Closed.
like, and it's a private hospital. So mom was like, nope, you get it done today. I don't care. So mom, actually, honestly, it's my mom who actually saved my life, literally,
Yeah.
because she was so persistent. She was like, nope, you do it today. And then
Yeah.
the breast surgeon was like, but it's going to cost extra. And she's like, I don't care, just
Yeah.
do it. And then so she's like, okay, send her down to the imaging center. So I went there, they did a biopsy, and then two 2 days later. So it was a Thursday that I went, and then I was admitted, and then Friday I went back home. Saturday, Sunday, so Monday. So on Sunday, actually, on Sunday morning, the clinic called me. The breast surgeon's clinic called me, and my mom's like, "Why on a Sunday?" And I'm like, "I don't know. Maybe it's the results came on." And she asked me to come in for a consultation. And mom was like a bit worried because she's like, surgeons don't call on a
Yeah.
Sunday. They're busy. They're surgeons. And I was like, yeah, chill, it's nothing. So Monday morning, me, my mom, my dad, my sister, all four of us, a family went to the clinic. I guess my mom was too afraid. And then dad was like, it's okay, I'll just take a day off. And sister was like, yeah, I'll take a day off too. Let's just go. So all of us took a day off. Even I started working. It was my first job. I took a day off. And we went. And we were having breakfast in the cafeteria, and when like I received like few phone calls, but my phone was on vibrate, so I didn't hear my phone. No, it was on silent actually, so I didn't hear my. And like 5 missed calls later, and I was like, "Oh my god!" Like the
Oh no.
clinic is calling me, and then she was like, where are you?" It was like 6:45 in the morning. I'm not
Yeah.
kidding. 45 in the morning, and then I was like, "Yeah, I'm here having breakfast with my family." She's like, please come to my office now. And then my mom was like, oh my God. And I still was like, it's nothing. You know? So we didn't even have breakfast. We dropped everything. We ran up to the clinic and she broke the news to me, my dad, my sister. My mom couldn't come in. She was chickening out. So she was like, no, I can't do this. I'm not going in. And
She kind of knew something was not right.
yeah, mom's instincts, they always
Yeah.
know. And so me, my dad, and my sister went into the clinic, and then they broke the news, and the doctor apologized to me because she was so sure that it was not what it is.
Yeah.
But then it was what it is. Mom barged in, but I guess with my family there, I mean, even though they were all crying and they were all worried and they didn't know what was happening, I needed to take charge. So I was like, okay, so tell me the procedure. What do I need to do? When can we do the operation? So Monday she diagnosed me. Wednesday was my operation. Like I
Wow.
just did everything like
Immediately.
yeah, like just immediately I just did everything. I was like, no, because I wanted to go back to work. I wanted to like I'm such like I think I'm like a workaholic or something. I just
Okay.
wanted to go back to work.
I was gonna say,
And
really, you wanted to go back to work?
yeah, I just wanted to start work. I just wanted to get back on my feet. Like, I just love going. And but I didn't understand the severity of cancer. I didn't understand it at all. I didn't know the damage, the side effects, the things that it would do to me. Not the cancer, but the treatment.
Yeah.
and things like that. So it took me like 6 months after rounds of chemotherapy, surgeries, chemotherapy, radiation, hormone therapy, and things like that to like really get me back on my feet, which I
Yeah.
was like, I couldn't. 6 months in the house, I was like, nope, like, I can't.
Yeah.
So was like, so I got back on my feet and I started working whilst going for cancer treatments. I still like, no, I gotta work. So I started
Mm-hmm.
working again, and yeah, and then 5 years later, after going overseas and deciding to migrate, I come back just for a routine checkup and find out that I have relapsed breast
You
cancer.
relapse. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So how I found that out was just a normal ultrasound on my pelvis area and found it on my liver, did a biopsy, confirmed it that it was the relapsed breast cancer. Yeah.
Wow. So you actually did an ultrasound on your pelvic area and,
Yes.
found out something else on the northern region instead. It was like,
Exactly.
wow.
And the funny thing is, when I was in Australia for about 3 years plus, I do go to the GP often. So I did tell my history, and so they did like a breast check, like every 3-4 months they would do a breast check. But I just really didn't know that you have to check your pelvis area as well. So
Yeah. I
little tip
think we
out
learned
there,
something new as well today. Wow.
apparently you need to. So apparently, just check your whole body.
Yes, I think that's a good advice. Now, I just want to know though, what went through your mind when the doctor told you this? I know you decided to take charge because your
Yeah,
family was,
I had to.
breaking down. You
Like
had to take charge, you know?
twice.
Yeah, exactly twice. But you were so young. First, you were 22, and then it was 5 years later. Were you
Yeah.
angry? Were you confused? Deep down inside, what exactly was going on? What was brewing in there?
Okay, so for me, I think like the first time around, I guess I was just confused, overwhelmed with feelings. Like I was confused. I was
Yep.
like, "What's going on? What's going on?" Like I was sad. I cried. I cried in the surgeon's room. I didn't know. I was scared. I was scared. I was confused. I was so overwhelmed with emotions.
Yep.
Because I really didn't know the chemotherapy side effects. I didn't know I was going to go bald. I didn't know
Yeah.
all that. Like when the doctor told me, like, okay, so you will be losing your hair. I'm like, okay, losing hair. Like then I was like bald. I was like, what?
Yeah.
This is not what I expected. But then the second time around was more like I was angry with myself. I was disappointed. I was like, what did I do wrong? I started to have like blame game. Like, what did I do wrong? Why did it have come back again? Like, but then again, it was nothing that we could do. If you're destined to have it, I guess you have to go through it. So
Absolutely.
I was, and that's when it really hit me when I saw both my parents like totally just give up. Like
Yeah.
they were like, what did we do wrong? So I'm like, wait, this is my body, like and then we're like, what did we do wrong? Maybe we didn't pray enough. We did something wrong. God is punishing us. So many things, and I'm like, because they were so helpless. They were
Yeah.
like going from like temples to I don't know, like fortune tellers
Divine
to fortune
intervention. Yeah.
divine intervention. They would probably like have a pilgrimage to like India and just to pray for my well-being. But
Yeah.
there was actually nothing that could have stopped it. I guess maybe one thing I knew, because when I was in the final year, when I was in Melbourne, Australia, I was very homesick and I was going through depression, and I
Depression.
think I had a lot of stress, a lot of negative thoughts. So that was one of the reasons, and stress is one of the main causes of cancer.
Okay.
If you know.
Yeah. I think a lot of people actually get cancer because of stress. And it's
Yes,
interesting that you
correct.
pointed that out. Yeah.
Yeah, because I
Okay.
did I was my own guinea pig, literally. And the moment I changed my whole like mental thought, I mean, of course, you're human. You have that balance. Sometimes you have your negative days. Sometimes you have your positive
Right.
days,
Yep.
but you are not straining yourself with the stress of your struggles and the anxiety that you're having and things like that. Like I do go through, sometimes I do fall back on my depression. I
Yeah.
was on antidepressants when I was in Australia. I was going through depression. I was diagnosed with acute depression, actually. So I guess that was also one of the reasons why, because for 5 years I was clean, and then last
Yeah.
year to become cancer free, And that was the final year that I was, tumbling down south. But, and then I decided, I got to go back to Malaysia. I was having this homesick. I was depressed. I was really confused whether I should migrate, not migrate. I didn't know what I was
Okay.
going to do. So yeah, so stress and negativity is one of the main causes, I would say.
So that was a lot on your mind during that 5 years that you were away from home, isn't it? So it kind of
Yes.
contributed to things. But I'm glad you actually went for that ultrasound, because otherwise
Yeah.
you wouldn't have known anything, right? Okay, so if you're watching us this afternoon on facebook.com/AFO Radio, we're actually speaking to Navi Indran Pillai. She's actually a two-time breast cancer survivor, and she's here with us kicking off a breast cancer awareness special. Now, she first found out she had breast cancer at the age of 22, very young, and I think there's a lot of misconceptions that when you're young, you don't get breast cancer, right? I mean, even
Platform. I mean, I was always a user of social media, but I was never like this, use it profusely, like, post it every day, kind of like thing. It was more like just friends and family, just follow me, we follow each other and things like that. It was like another like another Facebook.
yes, correct.
Yeah. So I think the second time around I was like, no, you know what? I felt so alone when I was first diagnosed, in 22. I'm 22, and that point in time my sister was like 26. And when she was 22, she didn't have to go through all this. Why do I have to go through all this? What is this? Like, why?
Yeah.
And so many so many things were going through my head, and I was like, why must I go through this, and why am I going through this? And then when I hit 28, I'm like, wait a minute, am I not supposed to be getting married now? Like, am I not supposed to be like, in like meeting someone, trying to get serious and things like that, and at the point in time, I'm like, I'm 28, why am I having to go through this? Are women out there also going through this at my age? Are they also as confused as I am? Do they also feel as alone as I am, like alone as I am? So at that point in time, I was like, okay, you know what? I need to go out. And it was kind of like a taboo for my parents as well, because for them, it was like, oh, you're 28, and, that's the time, you need to like start, looking to settle down and, work and things like that. And if people know that you have cancer, they're not going to look at you the same way. And, the whole very close-minded kind of like, like, oh, maybe you shouldn't, you shouldn't. And
Very old school lah.
yeah, very old school. And I understand because they
Yeah.
are from a different generation, right? And they
Correct.
don't understand the how amazing social media today is, like the platform, right? So and one day I before my first chemo, I was talking to my godmom, and I told my godmom, like, I think I want to go open with it. And my godmom was like, and my mom and my sister was like, oh, no, she shouldn't. And my godmom was very supportive, because she was like, you know what? Like, and she's the one who advised my mom and my sister, like, you know what? If she wants to go for it, let her go for it. Like, you don't stop her. Maybe,
Brilliant.
you never know, what can come out of this.
Yep.
And and then they were like, then they understood like how important it was for people to understand what cancer is, because a lot of people understand only one thing, that cancer is a death sentence, and actually it's not, it's really not. And with modern technologies and things like that, a lot can be achieved in today's age. Perhaps maybe those days it was something like people would say, yeah, we can't do anything much. But today there's a lot of medications, a lot of technologies that can detect cancer early and be treated. It's just that us Malaysians need to go and get ourselves checked.
I think that's the biggest problem, isn't it? Getting ourselves checked. We're always afraid to find out what's going to happen. Yeah.
Right. You're like, no, it's fine. No, nothing. I'm okay. I'm fine. I'm okay.
Correct.
But no, you're not. You don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know what's happening inside your body. You can't cut yourself open and check what's going on. What is it? But you can go to these facilities and actually get yourself checked. Today we are so lucky that we have like insurance to help cover our health. We have government hospitals, hospital facilities that's close by to us. We have private hospitals, we have private facilities, we have NGOs to help. So we just need to get up and just get ourselves checked.
Absolutely.
and not be
Absolutely.
afraid.
Yep. Okay, you mentioned that very interestingly, you actually brought up something that I was going to ask you. You were in your 20s, you know. Most of us, we're discovering opportunities, you know. We're looking for relationships. We're worried about college or work and
Yes,
relationships, of course, okay?
yes.
You were going through like possibly the hardest time of your life, you know. What was it like during that battle? I mean, how did you balance
Um,
it out? How did you get a clear mind of things?
it was very difficult actually. So the first time around, I guess when I was 22, you didn't really understand so much about life because you're just starting your 20s. So
Correct.
you didn't really understand. So you're like looking for opportunities. And I guess I'm like a goal getter. Like I would just go all out. And one of it was to go overseas and try and migrate overseas, and my pick was either the UK or Canada or New Zealand or Australia. So I picked Australia, and then I decided to move. And a lot of people actually ask me, how did your parents allow you to actually go to Australia by yourself? After battling such a battle, things like that.
Yeah.
And I guess I'm a rebel in that case. Like I think if you ask my parents, like between me and my sister, like I'm like, nah, I'm gonna go. And even if you say no, I'm gonna go. And my parents like, yeah, I can't stop her because she's just gonna go. And um, I guess for me, the first time was just really like, my family, really really strong family support. But second time, I really, really had the support from social media. Actually, I decided to come out. Like I did a shoot with me bald. That was my biggest hurdle
Overcome.
throughout my cancer journey. Like when I didn't have hair, I was like, oh my god, like I couldn't. But I think just coming out and facing your fears. So I faced my fears of coming out bald,
Yeah.
and
You even did a photo shoot, right? I think quite a
yes,
number
yes,
of photo shoots, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
few photo shoots, exactly. And I was like, you know what? I think bald is the new beautiful. I think
Yeah,
we all should just
man.
embrace what we have and stop, stereotyping things. So
Correct.
I decided to just go all out there and just spread joy, spread laughter, and yeah, I mean, a lot of people used to say my eyes were very beautiful, but I think the most beautiful thing is your smile. If you
Yes.
just smile and smile and smile and smile, it's so contagious. So I started to do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I just started to do that. Just I started to document my journey through the whole cancer journey, the part where I was losing my hair, to growing it back again. So I have a lot of people who actually were following me from the start of my journey, and my God, I'm sure I don't know if I were following somebody for that long, and seeing that extreme change from like having long hair to no hair to hair, like that transition. I think that would be something so, moving. So
Yeah.
that's what I decided to do. I want to do so much more, and I still want to do so much more. I'm still doing the things that I want to do. And yeah, I'm in my 30s, and I hope I get married soon.
Well, you just turned 30, so you still got like 10 years of it. So don't worry, you'll get married soon
Yeah, yeah.
eventually.
So I do have the same typical girl kind of. I'm
Hopes and
human.
dreams. Yeah.
Yeah, so I still have that.
Yep. Wonderful. Okay, so if you're just watching us on Facebook, feel free to share the broadcast right now. We're speaking to Navi Indran Pillai. She's actually a two-time breast cancer survivor. She's sharing her journey with us. What started off as something that she was very confused with. Now she's taken complete control of it, and she is taking Instagram by storm, I would have to say. Now, if you follow her on social media, you notice that one, she possibly has like the most beautiful smile ever, really very genuine, very sincere. Two, she's very positive and she promotes truly living life to the fullest. And finally, her hashtag is kissed by cancer. I love that hashtag.
Thank you.
I want to know, how did you come out with that? I mean, what is it all
Yeah.
about? I mean, is obviously it's because you're a two-time breast cancer survivor, but of course, there must have been a story behind that hashtag and your post and how you've taken charge of your social media to make sure that you're spreading the awareness. You're sharing your life story. It's not easy though.
Yeah. So the hashtag actually was, it was like trending at that point of time. Like everyone wanted to have like a hashtag,
Correct.
wanted to, like, they just wanted to own Instagram. So everyone's like hashtag this, hashtag that, hashtag this. So I was thinking, you know what? I mean, it's the same thing. Hashtag cancer survivor, hashtag cancer journey, all those kind of things. And I was like, let's look at cancer positively. So there's like cancer sucks, cancer survivor, cancer this, cancer that. And I'm like, something needs to be like, and I was just, before that, I don't know, when I was like going through cancer treatments, especially chemotherapy, I used to watch all these soppy cancer movies like, Walk to Remember, PS I Love You, Faults in Our Stars, and cry, and like, oh my god, I'm gonna be that, but then I was like, you know what, you see, look at me, look at all these movies, right? They're all depicting cancer as death. Every
Correct.
movie, I cannot find one movie. I hope Netflix, finds me and be like, oh my god, you know what? Let's do a movie that you live through cancer. I just wish that one day we could actually look at cancer more positively. So I decided to come up with something positive, like catchy.
Yeah.
And I was just lying down on the couch one day, scratching my bald head, and like, my dad always comes and like just plays with my head and then walks off.
Oh.
He just did that. I was just lying down there and he was like, "Oh ma, hi," and then he's like, "Da da da," and then he went off, and I was like, "Wait a minute, like kissed by cancer. Like I've just been kissed by cancer. Like that's it. That's all. That's it. That's it. That's one small thing." So that's how I actually came up with kissed by cancer. And the reason behind that whole thing is just so that people just look at it more positively and not something that is, as negative as it sounds or as it may seem.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, so if you're watching, if you'd like to drop Navi a message this afternoon, you're more than welcome to do so. We've got Mobin Din who says, stay strong. We've got Aiga Uchika who says, hello, and he sends smiles to you as well. I think, that's the best thing. Like she said, the most beautiful thing in your face is actually your smile, and that makes everything better. Now, Navi, your story is a very interesting one. Despite having beaten and bruised by cancer, you fought back. You chose to live, you chose positivity, and you chose to channel your pain through methods like dance. Why dance? Because if I think about it, I'm like, oh no, dance would just make me more tired. It's going to wear me out. Why would I do that? But you chose dance and you did it, and you did it brilliantly. Tell us why.
Okay, so basically, when I was first diagnosed with cancer, I stopped everything. Like I stopped dance, and I love dancing. So I was dancing. I was exposed to dance ever since I was 2, and I started my dance journey at the age of 6. Completed my dance graduation at the age of 18. And so after that, when I was diagnosed, I decided to stop everything because cancer treatments makes you tired, makes you feel lethargic, and no hair, so there's no bun, there's nothing. but but I wish I did actually. I wish I danced bald actually. Honestly, I really wish I did. But yeah. So coming back to me choosing my dance was because actually my insurance was depleting and has
Okay.
depleted. And I needed to raise funds to go through my cancer treatments as it causes a bomb.
Yep.
And it's a financial constraint for me. So I decided that I wanted to help my parents because they have been helping me. So I was like, I need to do something to help them out. So I came up with this thing last year where I wanted to dance and raise funds. And I didn't want to just do crowdfunding, and I wanted to give back to society as well, and to show society that cancer doesn't stop you from doing anything. So I contacted my teacher again after coming back, and of course, she knew that I was going through cancer, and then I asked her, I'm like, look, I want to do a dance. Can you help me out? And she was more than happy to, like, immediately she was like, oh my god, yes, I want to do it for you. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh. So then I started my training for the show. I had a few friends help me out throughout the whole show. Very, very grateful to them. They helped me throughout the show. And a lot of sponsors came on board, and I raised the funds. But honestly, I when I was going through the training, I kept asking myself, "Oh my god, why did I pick dance?" It was so hard, even for like a normal person to do that whole, 1.5 to 2
Routine, yep.
hours, 5 pieces long dance, vigorous dance is so much. What more cancer survivor who's still going through cancer treatments, who has all these side effects.
Yeah.
And I was like asking myself, oh my God, why did I choose to do this? But honestly, I didn't regret it after that. I actually missed it. I still miss it. I'm like, oh my God, just this MCO and this whole pandemic, this whole COVID-19 has like just really taken a lot out of us.
Definitely.
So yeah, and the reason why I chose dance is very clear because, well, it really is in my blood. So I couldn't run away from it.
Okay.
Um,
I'm sure it
yeah,
makes you happy as well, right? Because if
it
someone
does.
doesn't like dance
It's
and
like a
they
passion.
take up dance, they'll be like, oh no, this is terrible. But of
Yeah,
course, yeah.
yeah,
Now,
yeah.
this month you turned 30. I think you just turned 30, I think a couple of weeks ago, right?
It is.
Yeah. And now you're in remission, but you're still going through treatments as well.
Right.
How would you say cancer has changed your life or the perspective you have of life?
I think I see life differently now. I have gone through a lot of, heartbreaks and, a lot of uh, hurdles, a lot of obstacles in life. Like, my dream was to migrate to Australia, and then I had to come back to get treatments, and I now can't go back because my treatments are lifelong. Also, financially, the financial part is there that I need to sit and, keep thinking about how am I going to keep, generating the funds for me to keep going. Of course,
Correct.
yes, my family is there, but I want to do it for myself and help out my family. It's time for me to do something for my family now. And the whole, there's a lot of things that goes on in my head. And now that I'm 30, I'm super excited to start the new series.
Yeah.
They always say 3 series, but I think I'm gonna get a 3 series BMW soon. But yeah, I'm super excited and I'm super scared. This is the time where you start to really, really sit and try to figure out your life
Life.
partner, fall in love, and get married, settle, start the new life. And I'm excited. I actually, honestly, I cannot wait. I'm really, really excited to start the new journey, to start the new series, and to just create new memories and keep striving, keep fighting, keep pursuing my dreams. And I think everyone should too, like embrace every year, embrace every series. If you're turning 40, well, have fun. That's the
Yep.
new 30s. The 30s is the new 20s. Just live life.
Yep. I think a lot of people are put off with age, isn't it? They're like, "Oh no, I'm
Yeah.
40," or "Oh no, I'm 50," and they set that hurdle up for them. It's like, I can't do this anymore. But the truth is, if you choose to live and you choose to just embrace it, I guess you can do whatever you put your mind to, isn't it?
You really can. So,
Yeah.
like, just do whatever that makes you happy, whatever that makes you feel that you're contented, you're at peace. If you have a meltdown, if you have a breakdown, it's okay. You're only human. So
Yeah.
don't think that, oh my God, something's wrong. It's okay to not be okay. Always remember that, and
Correct.
to always just smile and radiate positivity and happiness. And like I think you don't, like, for me, my family has seen the total other side of me. Like, they always see like the grumpy side of me and stuff like that, but I only can show it to them. Like, you can't,
Correct.
you have your comfortable people. So if you're comfortable with that people, with them, go to your comfort zone, your comfort people, and talk to them and be, open with them. Tell them your problems, tell them that you're going through something today, but don't suppress it in. If you need professional help, go seek professional help. They really help. I'm still seeking professional help. I'm still going to a therapist. But yeah,
Yeah.
it helps.
It's okay to not feel
Feel
okay. I think that's one thing that we all should remember, yeah? Now, as women, we are told that mammograms are only prescribed for those over 40, like you mentioned, because our breast tissue is a bit softer. You can't really see much. But we are also encouraged to do our own breast self examination, correct?
yeah.
So, now, as a breast cancer survivor, what advice do you have for all women out there, when it comes to breast health?
Okay, so always just check. Like, a lot of women, their husbands actually find that out, and that's fine. Your husbands, your boyfriends, that find that out, and that's fine. It's okay. Like if you're comfortable, it's fine. But you also need to have that self awareness of like,
Yep.
okay, I need to check my ladies. I need to check them. So check them out. Follow pages like National Cancer Society has a lot of educational posts, so you can follow them on Instagram, and they educate the public. You can also go to your GP, to your doctors, to help you check. If you don't know how to check, go to your local doctors, your doctors that you're comfortable with, the GPs, and say, hey, I just want to get a regular checkup. Regular checkups are really, really very important. So get your urine checked, your blood checked, get your x-rays done, get your breast checked. For men, get your prostate checked, get your testicles checked. All these are very, very important. Don't neglect yourself. Check your cholesterols, exercise regularly. Um, you know, Not just to women, to also men out there. Don't just think you're like, you have superior powers.
Yep.
We are all only human. We don't know what's happening inside our body. We may think we're doing the right thing, but we don't know that the right thing can also be the wrong thing. So
Yeah.
seek your doctor's help. Go and be comfortable to be really open with your doctors. Your doctors are your best friend, in terms of medical wise. Um, Get advices from, there's a lot of younger generations who are also, doctors in, MOs and housemaids. They can help as well. Don't think that just because they're interns and stuff, they don't know things. They do. So
Yep.
seek their help if you're really, really shy to go to your doctor, and just see your friend like, hey, you're a doctor, so I've got this lump. Can you just have a look?
Yeah.
Things like that. Look out for signs, and Google is just next door. So literally just click the
Google
tab
it.
button. Just Google. Like, okay, you know what? How to check my breast? How to check my testicles? How to check? Go to the doctors. Regular checkup, 6 months once, a year once. That's very, very vital, very, very important. And balanced diet. Don't believe in those myths and facts and all these things. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, believe in those facts, but don't believe those myths. People keep forwarding to you. Find out first before actually forwarding it to someone else.
Yep, very true. That's actually very, very good advice because we don't want to be spraying fake news now, do we? So
Got so
how
much fake
often?
news about COVID
Yeah,
19.
that's, how often do you do your BSCs? I mean, how often should we do our breast self examination?
Okay, so basically, I mean, every day, do it every day. I mean, it only takes you like 1 minute for you to be in the toilet while putting on soap. Just feel like, okay, how are my ladies doing today?
Yeah.
The same thing with your when any part of your body, if you feel lumps, anything, your lady parts down there and everywhere, like just keep checking
Yeah.
for lumps. If you feel anything that's unusual, because often breast cancer is painless unless
Really?
yeah, I didn't feel
Okay.
anything. So my lump was no pain. So that's why I was like, this is nothing.
Okay.
But so often it's painless unless and otherwise it's gone to the later stage.
Okay. Wow. All right. So I learned something new there. It is painless. So if you think you have a lump and it's no big deal because you don't feel any pain, then I think you should take a visit to your nearest GP or your nearest doctor, wherever it may be. Now, we're going through, life battling cancer is of course no walk in a park. We all know that. You did it twice. It is depressing, it is painful, it is difficult, but having a strong support system, I would have to say, is something that makes it a little easier. So tell us about your support system. I love the fact that your whole family was with you when you
Yeah.
went for the first time, when you were diagnosed the first time. I think if there is a special moment between a family, is to be there for each other when something like this is a news like this is broken to them. So,
Yeah.
what can be done if someone has no support system?
Well, you have a lot of support groups at this point of time. Like you have uh, many support groups that you can join. You can, even if you are shy and reluctant, you can always go to a therapist. I mean, they are always eager and in like open arms. They are willing to accept patients on board to help get through this difficult time. So, try and join support groups. That very, very important. I think a lot of NGOs, they also have a lot of support groups.
Yeah, they
Um,
do.
but yeah, family support is one of the most important things.
Yeah. Tell us about your family, though. I mean, they were there for you through it all. I know you said your parents, they've done pilgrimages, they've gone through one
Yeah.
temple to another. I think that's what shows you how much your family loves you, and there's no
Yeah.
other way to show that at all.
Yes, yes,
So,
yes.
I mean, how does it feel to know that they've had your back all the way?
Of course it's very, very comforting because you at the end of the day, all you want to do is just spend as much time as you can with your family, your friends, your support systems, whoever that you feel that is your support. It can be your husband, it can be your child. But going through cancer and having my family there to support me at any time, I think it's one of the most the best feelings. Although sometimes it can be very, very I don't want to worry them, right? So
Yeah.
when I'm going through a little bit of like a downtime or a rough time, I don't want to worry them.
Yep.
So like so that is like a tough part because you're so worried that they might get worried about you, and so you're
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's okay, you try and handle it yourself. Is also one of the things that I've been thinking about, like, okay, you know what, it's okay, I don't want to tell them that I'm feeling a little bit down today because I just don't want to worry them. That's fine because you care for them. The same thing for them as well, like they don't want to worry you, but having them being by my side, and like sometimes my mom would just ask me like, oh, so I'm going to make like curry laksa today, and during the MCO
Oh.
time, and like, so I'm like, oh yeah, 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 let's let's make, and then she'd be like cooking for me and things like that, which is really, really nice of her. And when I was going through my chemo battles and things like that, her office supported her so well as well,
Oh.
like, so it's not just the cancer patient that is going through uh, the mental torture, the physical torture, the caregivers as well. So for me, my
Yep.
mom was going through a lot as well, and she had to go to work. But her office were really, really sweet enough to tell her, like, you know what, if she's not well and you need to tend to her, like, take a day off and tend to her,
Oh.
give her your full attention. But I will always be like, Mom, I'm fine, just go to work. It's okay.
Because
I'm gonna
you're a
stress me out
workaholic.
even
You
more.
wanted to go to work anyway,
Yeah,
right?
and then I'm like, Mom, you're gonna stress me out even more. Like, please, just go to work. Like, go to work.
Oh,
Nah,
but that's
sounds good.
nice though. That's nice. That's really nice of her office because you don't get many
Yeah.
of those these days. So yeah.
Yeah, and officers need to understand both sides, like the person who's going through cancer treatments as well as the caregivers. They're both going through a lot, and
Yeah.
a lot of employers don't understand the severity of this disease, and like
Yes.
they didn't either don't employ you,
Um.
or yeah, and it's really difficult actually, and especially being young, and you really just want to like career progress, and you just want to like work and be feel normal, but you
Yeah.
can't because they look at you less of a human, and you're like, I'm not less of a human, I only have this disease, that's it,
Yeah.
anyone can get it.
Yes.
So yeah,
Very true.
you just
Um.
need to be more
It doesn't. It
supportive.
doesn't stand in the way of how you perform at work. Anyway.
Yes, it does
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
Probably we feel tired, but that too can be, we can work from home,
Yeah.
or things like that. There's a lot of ways actually.
Alternatives. Yep. Yep. That's true.
Alternatives. Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So would you say that it has actually improved or gotten or made your bond with your family even stronger?
I think it's I mean, I always have like a
It
close.
always has been. Yeah.
I always have like I'm always close to my family, but I'm also very like independent. I like to do
Yeah.
things on my own. So I
Okay.
have. I think it's a Libra thing. I don't know. But I like I want to do things on my own. Like, I give me a choice, I would actually move out, and be on my own and be like independent, like, because I always had that, like, and that's the reason why also I wanted to move to Australia, because I was like, no, I think I need my independent life. Like, I want to be on my own and live my own life. And so certain things, like, I think with my family, certain things we like bump heads. I think that's in every family. We have
Yeah.
like things that we bump heads and things like that. But they've been pretty understanding throughout the whole journey. So
I think they've been wonderful, hasn't it?
yeah. So
Okay.
I've got no complaints. No
Okay, now before we actually go to our rapid fire segment at the end of the show, I want to know if you have any advice for everyone watching, because I think cancer does not discriminate. Even
Yeah,
breast cancer, you could be men and you could get it as well.
yeah.
So, what is your advice to everybody out there, to all our viewers this afternoon, knowing that you have survived this twice and you have completely changed your perspective on life? You're a lot more positive these days. Because let's face it, sometimes when we're hit with a terminal disease like this, like cancer, we totally give up on life. We don't want to do anything anymore.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you are definitely a role model. So what would you say is your advice?
I think do things that will make you happy. You live this life once, so live it to the fullest. It doesn't matter if you have a terminal illness or not. But the key to life is just living, not don't think about, 5 years from now. I mean, you can have your plan, but
Yep.
it's not your life does not revolve around that 5-year plan.
Yeah.
It's okay. I think 2020 has taught us so much. I think a
Correct.
lot of people have gone through like re-planning their weddings, re-postponing their weddings, and I'm sure it's so tough and so difficult, but I think 2020 has really, really taught us that life can really, really go down south,
Haywire.
higher, and just stop.
Yeah.
Literally, the whole world just stood still for like that, 2.5 months when everyone was on lockdown.
Correct.
And so for me, it's just like just live life. I mean, if you get bad news, you can cry, you can stress out, you can be depressed, but tell yourself that, okay, today is it, that's it, okay, I'm done, I'm done crying, I'm done going through all this, and then just move on to the next day and tell yourself that, okay, so today, what am I going to do to make today better? What am
Yeah.
I going to do to inspire another person, to help another person? Because everyone out there is either going through something, we don't know what the other person's going through, right? So the person may be going through something, so do something kind, do something
Yeah.
to help somebody. And you never know, you might just change someone's life.
Correct.
So don't it's okay if you're going through a breakup. It's okay if you lost your job. I know it's tough, it's going to get tough, but it's going to get better as well. So always think like that. It's tough, but it's going to get better. If you put your mind and soul to it, it's going to get better.
Absolutely. All right, so we've come to the end of the show, and normally at the end of the show, I will normally have a game. It's our rapid fire segment. So I'll ask you quick questions, you give me quick answers, and then we'll wrap it up. Okay, so you ready for that one?
Okay.
Okay, let's start with the first question. What is the one thing you wish you were better at?
I wish I was better at, making friends. I think a lot of times that I could have, been a better friend. And I wish I was a better friend. So yeah. Okay.
All right. Who is the one superhero whose story inspires you the most?
My mother.
Oh, love that. Next question. Who makes you laugh the hardest?
Um, my nephew.
Yeah, you can always count on them.
He really
what
does.
is the one thing that you must do before going to bed?
Play PUBG.
You're a gamer.
Oh my god, I'm not, I swear. But my friends, a group of friends are gamers, and then they got me into this game called PUBG, and now I can't live without it. I'm like, PUBG?
Okay, cool. Number 5. What to you is the cutest thing on earth?
My nephew.
Oh. Number 6. What's your guilty pleasure?
Binging on Netflix.
High
Like
five.
I literally finished Money Heist in 4 days.
Wow. That's
Like
brilliant.
no sleep, no eat, nothing. Just Netflix. Yes.
All right, so next, what to you is the best damn dessert ever?
Banoffee pie.
Wow, now you made me think about that.
Oh my god, you guys would try this from Gula Kekri. The banoffee pie from Gula Kekri is like, oh no.
But Gula Kekri has really good cakes. I have to agree.
Yes, the banoffee pie is like my favorite.
Okay, so
Banoffee
what
pie.
what to you is the secret to happiness?
Just being around your loved ones, your magic beans, as I call them, my friends, my magic beans, and my family.
Okay, nice. Now, if you could trade places with someone for a day, who would it be with?
I think Jennifer Aniston, because I always want to be in
Ooh.
Friends. So like, yeah, I think Jennifer Aniston.
So would you be Rachel in Friends if you were?
Definite. I don't know. See, a lot of my friends say I have like traits of all three of them. So I'm like, sometimes I'm a Monica because I'm OCD and I like to cook. And then sometimes I'm like Rachel because I'm a brat. And then sometimes I'm like Phoebe because I'm quirky. So yeah.
Very
All three.
nice. Okay, and finally, if a movie was made about your life, who would you want to play you?
Who would I want to play me? Um, I think, oh my God, who? Oh my God, this is a tough one. Who actually? Can anybody just give me names? Like who? Like at the top of my head, I'm like, I think Emma Stone.
Wow,
I think her. This
nice.
is very also like very quirky and
Yeah,
or
and she's
Anne
a very
Hathaway.
strong-willed person as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Oh,
I think either Emma Stone or like Anne Hathaway. I mean, both of them have like this very
very
quirky kind
nice.
of
Yeah, I would
yeah
vote Anne Hathaway though. Yeah,
yeah. Anne Hathaway is also like yeah.
because she's got a
Either
very nice smile as well.
yeah, she does. Oh my God.
Okay, so we've come to the end of our rapid fire segment. I've also come to the end of the show already. Thank you so much, Navi, for being
Thank
a part of
you.
this. I hope we've inspired a lot of people out there, and I hope you continue with this journey of inspiring and sharing positivity, because that's what we need in the world right now, a lot more. So I'm going to wish you the best of health and everything good in your life. Thank you once again for joining us, and if you have any last words for our viewers.
What doesn't kill you only makes you stronger. So
Absolutely. I love
yeah,
that, because I believe in that as well, and I think as long as you think about that, you're
yeah.
okay, you're going to be
And
fine.
sing along to Kelly Clarkson. Sing along.
Yes,
Just sing along.
correct. All right. So till we see you again someday soon, you take care and keep inspiring. Thank you so much for joining us on Facebook. Don't forget to share the broadcast, and we'll see you soon. Bye bye.
Bye.